Welcome to the Family History Guide, Researching Genealogical Records in Argentina. This video will introduce you to Argentina Goal 1, Research and Records, and will teach you step by step about finding records for your Argentine ancestors and relatives. The Family History Guide has step-by-step instructions for learning about Argentine records. All valuable genealogical records were kept at or near the places where events occurred in your ancestors' lives. Generally, all genealogical records are tied to the location where the records were created. Genealogical research begins by identifying the places where the events in your ancestors' and relatives' lives occurred to discover where these important records may be kept. To begin your own research, start gathering as many details as possible from your living family members and relatives, such as their names, the names of all spouses and children, including dates of birth, marriage, and death, all known places of residence, occupations, and military service details. This family information will give you a foundation for further research into historical records. The main record sources for genealogical research in Argentina are civil registration records and Catholic Church records. Argentina is a federation of 23 provinces and one autonomous city, Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is the capital of the federation. Each of the provinces and the capital has its own constitution. Provinces are divided for administration purposes into departments and municipalities, except for Buenos Aires province, which is divided into partidos and localidades. Buenos Aires city itself is divided into comunes, or comuna, and non-official neighborhoods called barrios. Civil registration records in Argentina were introduced in 1886. Each Argentine province was responsible for collecting and maintaining the records by establishing offices in municipalities and districts, which are roughly equivalent to counties and townships in the United States. Following 1886, each of the Argentine provinces started keeping records at different times, with offices at the level of the municipalities or districts, with most of the provinces having the civil record system in place by 1900. The civil registration records are maintained and made available by the offices of the Dirección del Registro Civil, or Director of Civil Registration in each municipality or district. The original books of records stay in the municipal offices in each province, and duplicate records are sent to the provincial or judicial archives of the province or the general archive of the tribunal in the federal district. FamilySearch.org has some Argentine civil registration records in the Images section of its website. The FamilySearch.org Research Wiki also has an explanation about the location and content of Argentina's civil registration records. The Catholic Church is organized into parishes, which include all the members of the church within a defined geographical area. Several parishes are further organized into dioceses. The direction of the parishes is entrusted to a parish priest, who may also be called a pastor. Parish records are kept by or under the direction of the parish priest. A diocese is usually directed by a bishop. Each parish and diocese is associated with a particular church building. The parishes have a church, and the dioceses have a cathedral. The distinction between a Catholic Church building being a church or a cathedral reflects the officer of the church who administers the building, with parishes administered by priests and dioceses by bishops. Dioceses are also further organized into archdioceses. An archdiocese is a larger ecclesiastical district that includes a larger city or area within a larger Catholic population. It is headed by an archbishop. An archdiocese can comprise several dioceses, but in some cases it can refer to just a single significant diocese located in a metropolitan area. The archbishop of the largest diocese in a region is known as a metropolitan archbishop. Argentina is divided into 48 archdioceses, each headed by an archbishop. Information about your ancestors and relatives could be available at every level of the Catholic Church organization. Catholic canon law requires each parish to permanently maintain baptismal, confirmation, marriage, and death registers. Some parishes also keep First Communion registers. Family Search has an extensive collection of Argentine Catholic Church records. These digitized records are organized by the location where the baptisms, marriages, and burials occurred, usually in the Catholic parish. To find the church records of your ancestors, you need to know the parish or diocese where the baptisms, marriages, and burials took place. Cemetery records may also help provide information about your ancestors. FamilySearch.org has a collection of cemetery records from various cemeteries in Argentina. These records include burial permits, registers of burials, requests of transfers of remains, family grave cards, and other related items. Some of these records have been indexed and are searchable as part of the collections. Additional images and indexed records are being published as they become available in the Images section of the Family Search website. You should look at the Images section of the website frequently to see if any new records have been acquired that may help you with your research. If the records you are searching for do not appear to be available online, you should try to contact the parish and diocese where your ancestors lived and ask about the location and availability of the records. You may be able to find contact information about the records by looking for the churches in the towns where your ancestors lived on Google Maps. Search by adding the word churches to the name of the town you are searching for. In some cases, it may be necessary to visit the church or cathedral and the cemetery in person to find additional information about your ancestors, although you should contact the church or cathedral before traveling to the location to determine if and when access to the cemetery and other records may be available. There are also several helpful online directories of the subdivisions of the Catholic Church. Use Google to search for the directories of the Catholic Church. One useful directory is the gcatholic.org directory. You can search by the location of the church or by the name of the church. CEMLA, or El Centro de Estudios Migratorios Latinoamericanos, or in English, the Center for Latin American Migratory Studies, is another helpful website that has over 4.4 million immigrant records for Latin America, with immigrants coming from 200 countries. This is an important resource because about 97% of the population of Argentina has full or partial European ancestry. The more you learn about the history of Argentina and the records that are available, the more likely it will be that you will find information about your ancestral family. The links in the Family History Guide will provide you with valuable information about how to find your ancestors in Argentina. Study the choices in this goal to develop your research skills.